Hey y'all, this is Mike,
And this is Paxton.
and welcome to the Mad LiberTEA Party, where up is down, left is right, the rum is always gone, and the world is full of clowns.
And if you feel like the world's gone mad, then pull up a chair and we'll throw you a teacup, because we're all mad here.
And when the world's gone mad, the only thing you really can do is pull up a chair and sit down with the other dudders that are the closest to you.
Mm-hmm. So the past couple of days we've been talking about our experience with roleplay. In particular, we mentioned a story very near and dear to our hearts because, well, it's how we three have become friends. So basically, what happened is one of our mutual friends that I don't think we were really aware that we knew was our friend, began to get attacked as a person and an individual. People saying very nasty things about him, saying that he was lying about his story essentially as a
Yeah,
person.
it was a bunch of really weird stuff.
Yeah, it was very weird, and very personal, and it was very clear that it was just there to attack him, just to be
Yeah.
vicious and mean and nasty. And it was through these attacks that Mike and I began to talk and communicate more in defense of our mutual friend,
Redneck.
And
Yeah, it
yeah,
drew us together. Like in the past, we had worked together a lot, and we had our role plays pushed together. But what was going on with the community and everything like that, that was what actually got us talking to each other out of characterly, I believe, like about life and stuff.
yeah, it was a
there were
matter
a
of
few.
realizing that we wanted change in the community. Disagreeing with where the community was as a culture, and wanting to do what we could to change that and stop people from eating each other.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Well, I mean, and it was like there were people coming into popularity that were only there to try and make cults of personality and stuff, and we were like the kind of people who wanted to support creativity and individualism and free speech and expression, obviously. And, you know, it was like suddenly we were on a playing field parallel to the world, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were people who were jealous of those who were doing good and they tried to tear them down. And the
Yeah.
backstabbing became just amazing. And it was during this time of trouble that drew, yeah, you find out who your real friends are when the struggle begins.
Yeah. When mud starts getting flung, you get to see who's standing on your side of the trenches, you know.
Yeah, and who stays there. Because there's a lot of people out there, and in the episode I made a side comment about how, you know, you can put a lot of energy into people, but you can't expect them to put the same amount in you, because later on, when it's time for them to give back, that's when you find out how much it really mattered to them. How much you really mattered to them.
But it was through this experience that Mike and I realized that even though we were very different people and that we came from very different backgrounds, and even though we didn't agree, even though we argued about many things, we decided that the common enemy was much more important than any kind of small differences that we might have.
Yeah.
And it was, well, the great thing about that is that it ties into the real world more than anything. In that so many of us are fighting libertarians are fighting libertarians, anarchos are fighting anarchos.
Anarchos are fighting libertarians.
Yeah,
mutualists are getting picked on.
Yeah, everybody is slitting each other's throats when we're really on the same team. What we need to do is start realizing who the enemy is and what we really have in common. You know, forget the policies for a second. Let's realize what we're all fighting for, which is to bring down any kind of authoritarian regimes.
Yeah, people who seek to control others. People who try to take away the individuality of others. We can't, and it doesn't matter whether, to us it was just in a game at that time, but as you can see, it moved forward because we were able, it wasn't about politics when it happened, but we were able to eyeball each other out at that point.
Mhm.
We then realized we had the same values, and those values carried us to become close and start working together like we did. And
Right.
it's really nice that, like, even though we have so many differences amongst us, like our terrible trio of friends here, like he's such a greenie.
Hmm. And that's the thing that I think is the greatest takeaway of this is that
Redneck.
at the time, not only did we not know like super well, but he's very different from both of us.
Yeah.
We were defending him because that was the right thing to do. It didn't matter that we had differences. It's like we've said before. If the Democratic Party gets banned outright, we're going to sit there and we're going to be screaming for you guys because it's not right. We stand up for what is right, no questions. What we're
Yeah.
tired of seeing is, Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, anarchos, being so quick to throw a stone. We're seeing this shit all the time where we're just eating each other, and it's completely pointless. What we
Yeah.
have to do is start looking at the similarities that we have, looking at what gives us a common ground, and start fighting back against what we're all trying to fight for at the end of the day. We can start talking about policies and what kind of economics we want after we get rid of the fucking authoritarianism, guys.
Yeah, I keep saying that. I'm like, I keep telling people, the statists have won over on us because people are already built to live in that kind of thought process and that kind of world, and like, we have to work against it. But like, we do have one thing that they don't have. We all agree on individual liberties.
Mhm.
And like, the different types of statism and fascism and all that stuff, they all disagree on the finer points to the point where they can't copacetically exist. They have to
Right.
fight each other. We don't have to do that. A lot of us exist with this ideation behind us of the NAP or the golden rule or and ye harm none, do what you will, or like, all these different things. They're all so copacetic. Why can't we look at that and realize that we could be mighty together? We don't have to agree on everything. We could push it back. We could get out there and educate the world together.
Mhm.
You can all come together despite your differences and fight for what is right, for liberty, for individual liberties, for freedom, for constitutional whatever, like the things we all agree on, basically.
At the end of the day, the only way, we can talk and scream back and forth amongst ourselves and to the statists about our beliefs and everything, and feel superior in how our policies and ideology is so much better than everybody's. It really doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day if you
No.
can't actually achieve it. It really doesn't fucking matter. If you and your
No.
10 buddies are the only libertarians on the planet, it really is not doing you too fucking good. You will have to combine with everybody else. You can't have the dream world that you're asking for. You have to make some concessions in one way or another.
And if you
You're not
actually
going to be able
are,
to create a indefinite ideology, or we wouldn't have the Democrats and Republicans.
yeah, and I personally believe that if you actually are a libertine or an anarchist, then you should be okay with everybody being able to make their own choices. Which is, and then I'm kind of like, why are we arguing then? Why not just go, okay, you do you, boo. Let's get that statist over there.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Why can't we come together? What is standing between us that is so fucking important? Is it private property? Is that what's important? Is that what's important to you? You care about private property? Is it, corporativism versus like free market? Do you hate that stuff so much that you would give up freedom? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I mean, Mike and I are pretty different whenever it comes to economics and things of that. I lean more of a anarcho-capitalist, and Mike is more of a mutualist in those regards. And we have arguments every day about the little semantics of the things, but here we are. We're still fighting. 'Cause, you know, it doesn't fucking matter if my economics are right or his economics are right, because we're not there yet. We're not fucking there. It matters zero if I'm right or he's right. What matters is that we fucking fight for the same thing, so we can prove indefinitely that I'm always right and Mike is wrong, definitely about economics. That's really the goal. We should all be fighting to prove Paxton right. We have to overthrow the authoritarian regimes. That way we can in place my economic policies and it'll all be okay.
Yeah, or we can show him that sharing is caring, y'all. We'll figure it out. The point is that we can bother about all those silly little things when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get there first, though. And we're not going anywhere. We're like a car with one wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You need, like, libertarian wheel. And cap wheel. And calm wheel. Mutualist wheel. Let's get some extra wheels in there in case we blow some. Pop those Hoppians in there. Let's get
a fucking 18-wheeler.
Yeah, let's get the individualists. Let's get us all in. Let's do this shit. Come on, what is stopping us? God. I'm sorry, it's just, I get so freaking riled up about it. Did you want to say anything before I start yelling and waving my arms like a red panda again?
All I wanted to say is, it's fucking time, guys. I think every other video is telling us, or telling you guys rather, that it's time to fucking shut up or fucking do something. If you believe in your stuff, do something with it. Or it's not really a belief. You talking to everybody about how libertarian you are and how superior your ideals are and how bad the government is means absolute shit if you're not doing anything with it. And stop fucking fighting over the petty stuff. It's time to fucking link arms and resist against the ultimate force, which is authoritarianism. It is the government. Let's fucking fight it. Let's fight it together. We can worry about the petty shit once we have a new government to fucking put in place.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
preach it.
If you like our videos, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It really does help us a lot, especially sharing it.
If you think we're wrong and we should be fighting, put a good reason down there so we can tell you you're wrong.
Yeah. And moreover, if you would like to join in on the discussion, even if you disagree with us or if you agree with us, feel free to join our Discord. The link is included. And we would love to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're one of those people that is like a Puritan libertarian, where you are like, no other thing can do. We have to be libertarian, or else none of this can work, and it has to be this economic policy. We would love to hear why you think that's the case,
and vice versa for the others. Like all of you, if you have some real reason you think that we can't fucking work on this, get with us. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll even make an episode about it. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Until then, though, you guys be safe. Y'all be free. This Mad Liberty break is adjourned. I'll be friends out there, you nerds.